What is up, Scoopers, and welcome back to another absolutely explosive edition of Sheer and Scoop. The news cycle is spinning faster than a Beyblade in a hurricane, and we've got the unmissable updates you need to know. Get ready, because we're diving headfirst into a universe-shattering revelation from the DCU. A heartwarming, yet wild, pet-centric moment that's taking the internet by storm, a deep dive into the future of a beloved superhero, and a villainous debut that's poised to redefine an icon. This is not a drill, folks. You are about to get the inside scoop on everything that matters. So buckle up, because the scoop is about to drop. First up, prepare yourselves, because James Gunn is blowing the doors wide open on the DC cinematic universe. We're talking about a mind-bending revelation from Peacemaker that confirms not just one, but 99 alternate universes beyond our own DCU. Yes, you heard that right. 99. What does this mean for the future of our favorite heroes and villains? We're breaking down the details, exploring the implications, and trying to make sense of this massive expansion. Is your favorite alternate reality about to get a spotlight? We're diving deep into the lore and bringing you all the juicy details. Next, we're shifting gears to a moment that's captured hearts and imaginations. The incredible Eagly scene from Peacemaker Season 2. This isn't just any pet moment. This is a full-blown, no-holds-barred display of loyalty and ferocity that has fans buzzing. We're talking about our favorite feathered friend taking center stage in a way that's both hilarious and awe-inspiring. Get ready to witness the power of an unruly pet when it's unleashed with maximum impact. You won't believe what this eagle can do. Then, we're soaring into the world of DC's most iconic hero with a look at James Gunn's vision for Superman. This isn't just another reboot. It's a fresh, optimistic, and critically acclaimed take that's setting a new standard. We're exploring what makes this Superman different, how Gunn is bringing back the hope and the heart, and why this film is already being hailed as a game-changer for the genre. Get ready for a deep dive into the making of this cinematic triumph and what it means for the future of superheroes on screen. And finally, hold onto your hats, because a brand new, formidable Wonder Woman villain has just been unveiled, and this one has been over 2 years in the making. We're talking about a character that's been meticulously crafted to challenge our Amazonian princess like never before. What makes this new adversary so dangerous? What powers does she wield? And could she be the one to finally bring down Wonder Woman? We've got the exclusive first look and all the details you need to know. You do not want to miss this. All right, that's just a taste of what's in store. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and get the biggest scoops first, make sure you smash that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and join the Sheer and Scoop family. Let's get into it. DC Universe expands. 99 new realities revealed. Prepare for a seismic shift in the DC cinematic universe, as James Gunn's vision continues to unfold with a revelation straight from the set of Peacemaker that has fans buzzing about the sheer scale of what's to come. Season 2 of the hit HBO Max series has introduced a concept that not only deepens the lore, but also dramatically expands the potential narrative landscape. The existence of 99 alternate universes beyond our primary DCU. This isn't just a casual mention. It's a foundational element for future storytelling, stemming from the Quantum Unfolding Chamber, QUC, a device described as a dimensional nodule outside of normal space with 100 doors, each leading to a distinct reality. James Gunn himself, in an interview discussing the QUC, clarified that these are not merely alternate realities in the way the Marvel Cinematic Universe often portrays them, but rather distinct dimensions and realities. This distinction is crucial, especially in the wake of the events in the recent Superman film, where Lex Luthor's dimensional pathway caused significant destruction in Metropolis. The implications for Argus, the organization tasked with overseeing metahuman affairs, are immense, as they now have to contend with the potential for interdimensional incursions on a scale never before imagined. So, what do we know about these 99 doors? The primary DCU, the one we're most familiar with, is Door 1. Beyond that, we've already had glimpses of other dimensions. One is home to a peculiar alien who made a memorable appearance in Peacemaker Season 2. More significantly, we're introduced to DC2, a universe that appears remarkably similar to our own DCU, with one key difference. John Cena's Peacemaker is a celebrated hero, part of a team called the Top Trio alongside his father, Augie the White Dragon, and brother Keith, Captain Triumph. Even seemingly minor details like band names are altered in this reality, hinting at a rich tapestry of differences yet to be explored. Another dimension mentioned is the Imp Dimension, a place referenced in Superman and further detailed in Peacemaker, where young Christopher Smith apparently ventured to steal giant peppermint sticks. The QUC itself, while a gateway, is described as a pocket universe, a space between dimensions, echoing concepts previously seen in DC Comics lore, such as Lex Luthor's prison within a pocket universe in the recent Superman film. This connection to Luthor's actions, tearing a hole in the two universal fabrics, suggests that the second universe he referenced might be DC2 or another dimension entirely, hinting at a deeper narrative thread connecting these events. The concept of multiple universes isn't new to DC Comics, which has historically played with an infinite number of Earths, then famously 52. Gunn's introduction of 100 dimensions aligns with this fluid approach to multiversal storytelling, allowing for a vast array of creative possibilities. Theories abound regarding what lies behind the remaining doors, with fan-favorite Earths like Earth 3, home to the crime syndicate, Earth 4, the original home of Peacemaker, and Earth X, a Nazi-dominated reality, being popular speculations. The possibility of DC2 being Earth X is particularly intriguing, given Augie Smith's characterization in the primary DCU. The introduction of this expansive multiverse sets the stage for potential crises within the DCU, mirroring the impactful comic book events of the past. As Gunn continues to build his cinematic universe, these 99 doors represent an almost limitless potential for new stories, character interactions, and universe-spanning conflicts. The question now is not just what's behind each door, but how these various dimensions will eventually intersect and influence the main DCU narrative. It's an exciting, and perhaps daunting, expansion that promises to redefine the scope of DC storytelling on screen. But before we get lost in the multiverse, we've got to talk about the animal star of Peacemaker Season 2. Will Eagly continue to be the fiercest protector in the DCU? Let's find out. Eagly's fierce debut, unleashing the unruly pet. Peacemaker Season 2 is not only expanding the DC universe with multiversal concepts, but also giving significant screen time to its most beloved, albeit unconventional, character, Eagly, the loyal bald eagle. In a standout scene from the second episode, Eagly proves that he's far more than just a mascot. He's a formidable force to be reckoned with, a testament to James Gunn's ongoing affection for incorporating unruly and powerful animal companions into his narratives. The episode kicks off with a tense situation for Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker. Following the events of the Suicide Squad, where he inadvertently caused the death of Rick Flag's son, Smith has been under constant surveillance by Argus. When Argus director Langston Fleury decides to conduct a raid on Smith's home while he's out, he dispatches a team of 4 highly trained operatives, whom he dismissively nicknames Cupid Doll, Encino Man, Titties, and another unnamed agent. Their mission: to secure the quantum unfolding chamber. However, Fleury and his team severely underestimated the protective instincts of Peacemaker's avian companion. As the agents breach Smith's residence and move towards the QUC, Eagly emerges from the shadows, a whirlwind of feathers and fury. Despite the agents opening fire, Eagly expertly evades the bullets, his agility and speed proving superior to their marksmanship. He launches a brutal, yet surprisingly effective, assault on the operatives. Eagly first incapacitates Cupid Doll with a swift attack, leaving him unconscious on the floor. He then moves outside to confront Encino Man, savagely attacking his face and, in a particularly graphic moment, literally biting his eye out of its socket. He then turns his attention to another agent, disarming Fleury by yanking his weapon away with his beak. While Eagly doesn't resort to lethal force, the aftermath is severe. One agent is left in the ICU, another has lost an eye, and a third requires extensive reconstructive facial surgery. Following his heroic defense, Eagly struts triumphantly, accompanied by the song Dirty Money by Ida Maria, solidifying his status as a fan favorite. This scene perfectly encapsulates James Gunn's penchant for showcasing animal-on-human violence in a darkly comedic and impactful way. It echoes moments from other Gunn projects, such as Krypto's brutal takedown of Lex Luthor in the recent Superman film. This affinity for unruly pets is likely inspired by Gunn's own rescue dog, Azu. When asked if Eagly and Krypto would get along, Gunn expressed doubt, stating that Eagly is fiercely protective of his owner and doesn't take kindly to strangers, including other animals. The depiction of Eagly's ferocity not only provides a thrilling and entertaining action sequence, but also underscores the deep bond between him and Peacemaker. It highlights Eagly's unwavering loyalty and his role as a crucial, albeit unusual, member of Peacemaker's world. The scene is a masterclass in balancing humor, action, and character development, further cementing Eagly's place as one of the most memorable characters in the burgeoning DCU. With Eagly stealing the show, we're now turning our attention to the man behind the cape and a new dawn for a legendary hero. How is James Gunn reinventing the Man of Steel for a new generation? Let's dive in. Gunn's Golden Age, a new era for Superman. In a landscape often dominated by darker, grittier interpretations, director James Gunn is ushering in a new era for Superman, one that champions optimism, goodness, and a refreshing return to the character's hopeful roots. The recently released Superman film, helmed by Gunn, has not only garnered critical acclaim, but is also being hailed as a potential turning point for DC's cinematic endeavors. A stark contrast to the struggles the studio has faced in establishing a cohesive universe. Gunn, a filmmaker with a proven track record in subverting genre expectations with films like Super and the immensely popular Guardians of the Galaxy series, took on the monumental task of rebooting the Man of Steel. He explains that the decision to debut DC Studios' feature film, Slate with Superman, was a practical one, deeply influenced by his partner Peter Safran's lifelong dream of making a Superman movie. More importantly, Gunn views Superman as the foundational superhero, the cornerstone of DC's iconic trinity, and felt it was imperative to lead with him to put our best foot forward. What sets this iteration apart is Gunn's deliberate focus on the character's inherent goodness. In an industry where antiheroes often reign supreme and overt positivity can be met with cynicism, Gunn aims to celebrate a noble, optimistic Superman. He acknowledges that being purely good doesn't always equate to being logically right, and this film explores a character who is fundamentally good in a world that often isn't. Gunn believes that Superman's appeal lies not in his overwhelming power, the ability to punch planets or lift skyscrapers, but in his innate goodness and humanity, even as an alien. He embraces the character's vulnerability and optimism, seeing it not as a weakness, but as a core part of his strength. Gunn's approach to Superman's powers also marks a departure from previous, often godlike, portrayals. Influenced heavily by Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman, Gunn has dialed back the cosmic-level abilities. This Superman is still incredibly strong, capable of lifting skyscrapers, but he is not invulnerable. The film opens with a Superman who bleeds, a deliberate choice to ground the character and make him more relatable. This vulnerability allows for a more compelling narrative, exploring how he navigates his powers and his place in the world. The filmmaking itself is equally innovative. Gunn meticulously planned the approach to Superman's flight, drawing inspiration from jet fighter footage to create a more visceral and realistic depiction. This involved extensive use of rigs for actor David Corenswet and a focus on making the movement feel authentic, including the realistic depiction of hair moving at supersonic speeds, a detail often overlooked in previous portrayals. The camera work further enhances this, often simulating the perspective of other flying individuals, adding a dynamic and immersive quality to the aerial sequences. Casting David Corenswet as Superman was a pivotal decision. Gunn first noticed Corenswet in T. West's film, Pearl, and immediately saw his potential. Corenswet's audition, particularly a scene where Superman argues with Lois Lane about his place in the world, showcased not only his acting prowess, but also his uncanny resemblance and vocal similarity to the iconic hero. Gunn also highlighted Corenswet's real-life demeanor, describing him as a square who enjoys old jazz standards, aligning perfectly with the noble, grounded aspect of Superman's persona. Furthermore, the inclusion of Crypto the Superdog, inspired by Gunn's own rescue dog Azu, adds a unique and personal touch. Gunn's narrative for Crypto, initially a destructive and fearful dog, mirrors his own experience, creating a surprisingly relatable and even poignant origin for the super canine. This element, along with the presence of other metahumans, establishes a world where Superman is not an anomaly, but the greatest among them, albeit one we meet before he fully embraces his legendary status. Gunn's vision for Superman is not just about spectacle. It's about recapturing the heart and soul of a character who has long been a symbol of hope. By focusing on his humanity, his struggles, and his unwavering commitment to doing good, Gunn is crafting a Superman for a new generation, one that resonates with the timeless ideals of the character while feeling fresh and relevant. Speaking of new characters making a massive impact, DC is also gearing up to unleash a formidable new foe upon one of its most iconic heroines. Get ready to meet the villain who's been years in the making and is set to change Wonder Woman's fate forever. Matriarch rises, a new threat to Wonder Woman. DC is making a significant move to bolster its iconic heroine's rogues galleries with the introduction of Matriarch, a formidable new villain poised to challenge Wonder Woman on an unprecedented scale. This character, developed over 2 years by acclaimed writer Tom King and artist Daniel Sampere, is set to debut in Wonder Woman 25 and is being positioned as a pivotal antagonist, potentially the greatest adversary the Amazonian princess has faced. King and Sampere have stated that their extensive work on the Wonder Woman series has been building towards this moment, with Matriarch described as a harbinger of death, destined to change Diana's fate forever. Promotional materials and cover art for Wonder Woman 25 depict Matriarch standing over a wounded Wonder Woman, knife in hand, strongly suggesting a storyline where the hero's death is a central theme. This ambitious positioning aims to elevate Matriarch to the status of a primary, defining villain, a role that Wonder Woman's rogues gallery, while rich with history, has arguably lacked compared to Batman's Joker or Superman's Lex Luthor. The creative team's dedication to developing new threats is evident. Over their 3-year tenure on the title, King and Sampere have introduced several significant new villains, including the Sovereign, Mouse Man, and now Matriarch. This sustained effort indicates a clear intention to enrich Wonder Woman's lore and provide her with compelling antagonists that can truly test her limits and bring out the best in her character. Visually, Matriarch cuts an imposing figure, echoing Wonder Woman's iconic design, but with a dark, menacing twist. Clad in a starkly black version of Wonder Woman's costume, complete with the W crest, Matriarch is armored with heavy shoulder pads and a gorget, emphasizing a warrior-like presence. The character's motif includes a distinct affinity for crosses, incorporated into her shoulder armor, the hilt of her sword, and as earrings, with a bird atop one cross, adding a layer of symbolism. Her all-white hair and dark red eyeshadow create a stark visual contrast with Wonder Woman's classic look, immediately signaling her antagonistic role. What truly sets Matriarch apart, however, are the powerful artifacts she wields. Sampere's variant cover for Wonder Woman 25 showcases her not only in her dark ensemble and wielding a sword, but also possessing a functioning Green Lantern ring and a Legion flight ring. The implications of a Green Lantern ring in the hands of a villain like Matriarch are immense, offering the potential for powerful energy constructs and a vast array of tactical advantages. Similarly, the Legion flight ring, typically associated with the 31st century's Legion of Superheroes, grants advanced anti-gravity abilities and possibly telepathic enhancements or speed upgrades. These borrowed powers, combined with her own prowess and a signature sword, position her as an exceptionally dangerous threat. This build-up is intrinsically linked to the Wonder War, an event foreshadowed for nearly a year within King and Sampere's run, and previously glimpsed in future stories featuring Diana's daughter, Trinity. In these glimpses, Wonder Woman and nearly all the Amazons are depicted as deceased, with Trinity as the sole survivor, presumably at the hands of Matriarch's blade. The upcoming debut of Matriarch in Wonder Woman 25 is set to reveal how this catastrophic event unfolds, solidifying her as the architect of this devastating war. As Wonder Woman 25 prepares for its release on September 17th, the anticipation for Matriarch's arrival is palpable. Whether she will live up to the immense hype and become a permanent fixture in Wonder Woman's pantheon of foes remains to be seen. But the foundation laid by King, Sampere, and DC Comics suggests a villain designed for maximum impact, ready to redefine the stakes for the Amazonian princess. From a universe-shattering revelation to a fierce feathered friend and a hopeful new Superman, we've covered a lot of ground. But there's one more major update from the DC universe that you absolutely need to hear about before we wrap up this episode. That's all the incredible news for today, Scoopers. We've seen the DCU expand with 99 alternate realities, Eagly show off his fierce loyalty, James Gunn redefine Superman for a new era, and a brand new villain emerge to challenge Wonder Woman. Don't miss a single update. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and follow us on all our socials so you're always in the know. We'll see you next time on Sheeran Scoop.